The 3 steps to thermal success for your production. You might wonder, how would you define thermal success? For us here at Kik, we define it in 3 respective categories: productivity, quality, and data insight. It will be ranking of up to 4 points for each category. From the point system, we have 3 different tiers obtained: the basic, the intermediate, and the advanced. So, what is all these categories and tier system about? Let me give you an example. Let's say you have a line running 24 hours with 8 hours shift arrangement, and you have a cycle time of 5 minutes per board. That means you are producing 96 board per shift, 288 boards per day. If you are taking profile once per shift, that is 1 profile per shift, 3 profile per day. 3 profile out of the 288 board produced, which is just only about 1% of your whole production. Let's look at what kind of benefit you can get from doing 1 profile per shift. Mainly, there are 2 benefits that we could see from using a profiler. Firstly, you will have the visibility on the thermal process that your workpiece is going through. By having an accurate thermal profile, you will have better control over your process, therefore reducing the overall risk of defects and reworks. The other benefit is that you could tune the process to whatever suit your needs. You could have the choice of 2 different modes, speed and performance. This will greatly suit whichever production schedule you have planned for the line. Let's say, you are doing a step better, you are doing 1 profile per hour. That is 8 profile per shift, 24 profile per day. 24 profile out of the 288 board produced, which is just only about 8% of your whole production. Is possible to manually profile once every hour? Sure you can. But you would have to stop your production every time you profile. What you need is a profiling solution that has the capability of continuous profiling. With continuous profiling, you have further increased the level of automation in your line, which increase the amount of production time you can have out of your line. You are also now able to have batch traceability by the hour, which makes tracking your product much easier than before. Together with an alarm system, you would spend lesser time on this thermal process, and spend the time saved at other areas instead. How can you do better than that? Of course you can. You could do continuous profiling, which is 1 profile per board. 288 profile out of the 288 board produced, which is 100% of your whole production. In addition to the benefit of automation, which increases your production time, 1 board 1 profile will give you the full profile data visibility that you always wanted. Data analytic 2 is now made possible with valuable insights such as the CPK and SPC, which can further expand your line's capability. With 1 board 1 profile, individual product traceability means your customers can now too have the visibility they need from your production. But, why data? Why is data important to you? That is because, from data, you can have process control. Why is having control important? Let's just say you are heading out. With data on the weather and the traffic on the road, you would know how to be prepared for your travel. Identify possible choke point in your planning intervention. Identifying data characteristic and trend to control. And then predict the trend. With sufficient data, you are then able to develop a digital twin. With a digital twin, you will then be able to run simulation. To be able to digitally run your production and identify actual choke point in your line, all without stopping your physical line. By now, you probably have a good idea why data is important, but what about connectivity? Why is it needed? One of the reasons is the data that you have already collected. To collect them, you need to have a place to store them. You might have to store them on multiple system or database. But what if you are able to store them all in a central system or database? You would have an easier time in sorting and finding which data that you want. You will then be able to redirect the time and effort to a more productive activity. Connectivity is also about bringing you the data collected at the current time. Not 1 hour later, not 1 minute later, but bring you the current information, right now. To enable you to make the most suitable intervention decision, with the most lead time ahead. That is where connectivity really matters. With data and connectivity, you then can increase production time and reducing your downtime. But, is 1 board 1 profile even possible? Yes. For both reflow and wave, Kik have the solution for your needs. Tested and trusted solution to enhance your production, improving your production while reducing the manpower, to gain process transparency, to take control of your process and management efficiencies. Bringing information to who needs it, where and when needed. Giving your customer the satisfaction that they need. Follow us at our social media platform and you can contact us at any of our offices worldwide. Hope to see you soon.